1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth replay from the bottom. It's going to be Vega versus Elf. It's going to be tier 12. I will figure out the leadership as we go, or 5. And what we're expecting to see is we should see Vega win. Vega should beat Elf, but Elf's spell damage does hit really hard. So in a fair fight, tier 12 walkers versus tier 12 airships, Elf versus Vega, you would think Vega should win pretty handedly. But like I said, Elf beats everyone except for frickin' Rogers. So let's see. That hit was weak, right? 2594. Okay, so the leadership-wise, 1139. I should be watching closer, huh? All right, 1139 times 900. All right, so 1 million leadership Vega versus 2594 times 600. 1.5 million leadership Elf. So already Elf is 50% bigger. Both have tier 12, both have tear space. Strength and weaken can play a role, but obviously walkers are not going to have an advantage over airships. So it wouldn't be working in Elf's favor. He does get blessings on troops 1 and 2. Elf does. She does. And man, look at that spell damage with tear space. Oof. So actually, the curse really didn't hit that hard. I'm surprised the curse didn't hit harder. Now, was that a Gemini and a breakdown? Definitely a Gemini. Look at those heals, though. Wow, dude. Those heals on Elf. Huge. Yeah, Vega is desperate for a breakdown. Desperate for a breakdown. Man. Okay. So that curse. I want to watch that curse again. 2557. 2557. Basically, Vega's base hits are not enough to actually take troops off. That is very surprising. So the curse is going again. Remember, all these curses are stacking up. 500 damage on the tear space. Wow. Oh, man. An awakening heal is amazing on Elf. Oh, man. So strong. Okay, so Gemini, back row. Blessing, back row. Watching Elf slot 5. Might have Capricorn. Okay. Congrats on lowering his crit, which actually does help. So she doesn't land a crit. Wow, wow. There's so much going on. I'm trying to keep an eye on everything. All right, Scorpio on the tier 12. Ooh. Oh, look at that awakening heal. They're like maxed out, basically. Very similar matchup, though. That's a good hit. Okay. So Vega's front row is super soft right now, which is going to heal up Elf's front row by the time they make it to the back row. Remember, Elf still has started with 50% more leadership. There goes the damage. There goes the curse. Here comes a breakdown. It's only 140 troops, though. Breakdown Scorpio doesn't matter. It's only 140 troops. 2574. Yeah, the heal, dude. That's the great thing about Elf's heal. The longer she survives, the lower the enemy troops get, the less they hit you for, and her heal keeps healing the same. It's not like Grievous's heal that is based off the damage he does. It's based off the troops missing. But it requires you to live a lot longer. There's the tear space. There's the curse damage. I want to watch the curse damage in the back. 1133. Here's a breakdown. 1600. Dude. Okay, so maybe Elf's gear is not really defense heavy, which is why the breakdown isn't hitting as hard. Maybe she's more HP gear, which is like more spell damage based. Sure, she has a tyrant though. Capricorn. Good, good. 1130. Okay. Dude, that curse is not that big of a deal. It's like 20 units max. So Elf's curse is kind of negligible as far as I'm concerned. Although, I don't know if it's triggering Vega's heal. If it's triggering Vega's heal, it's actually really bad. I don't think it does. Man. 2345. 2345. I feel like that tear space should have done more damage. Did it do 1106? Yeah, no, that's about right. That's about right. 200 units. All right. Oh, we're zooming out now. Okay. There's the heal. 889. 899. Okay. 2591. Okay, he's got his heal now. 2591. base hit. So it's like 18 units. Okay, no big deal. Almost back to full. 2591, 2581, 91. So okay, 70 something units. Okay, 72. 1100 loses 4. It's so weird how little damage everything does, and then something like that, like the terror space hits, and it's just crazy. I think that's probably why they added terror space. They realized that the defense was so freaking high. That's a breakdown. 300. Dude, Elf's heal is so big that Vega can't one-shot her because Elf is not using enough defense. What, dude? Is this what's going on? I gotta see this Elf's gear. It's possible that she just has a ton of HP gear, and the defense breakdown bonus really isn't doing much for her. Yeah, dude, Vega's just not hitting her very hard. What's going on with this Vega's damage? This Vega's damage is very low. You gotta remember, this is not Bingo or Sky. This is Batman, who's their third in command. Probably doesn't have pure level 40 gear, and he has a 1 million leadership commander, which means he's thrown down about 30 grand on this commander alone. But he's not in the ball game of 500,000 like Bingo and Sky are. This guy probably has 50,000 to 100,000 into this account, and he was drastically outnumbered going into this fight against an elf that is no joke, man. 1.6 million leadership. Their second in command. This elf is extremely strong against everyone but Rogers. I'm surprised how well he beat this Vega. But, 50% more leadership. Does have infantry in the back there to blast through. Not that that's even winning. I don't know. It's a very interesting replay, though. Right? It shows you that Elf is incredibly powerful. Like I said, she is better than everyone else except Rogers. Her heal is just absurd. Her curse damage is absurd. And with tear space, it makes it so that you can build a defense balance commander that gets a lot of their damage from just their spells and their tear space ability. You don't need super attack damage. A Vega, on the other hand, is very dependent on attack gear and breakdown Gemini triggers. And if he doesn't have enough to get over the top, like when he goes against a commander that has 50% more leadership, that commander, like especially Elf, can just keep healing up and up and up and up and taking the hits because you have to one-shot her to make sure those troops stop triggering. But she is surviving the hits, so ultimately he just never is able to overcome the barrier to take her troops out. In a fair fight, it would have been obviously a lot closer, but the fact that he had more leadership, probably doesn't have as good a gear, and the terror space damage just puts him out of the league with this Elf. She just crushes him, definitely crushes him. So I don't know, Elf, best walker commander in the game, least represented, super good, but doesn't do shit against Rogers. And of course Vega will do shit against Rogers, but not as good as Reinhardt. So the question is, Vega, so Reinhardt versus Elf. I think Elf destroys Reinhardt. I don't think Elf spell damage triggers Reinhardt's skills. I don't know. Yeah, I think Elf destroys Reinhardt. Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's here's the matchup. It's Rogers on the top, who destroys Elf. Elf destroys Stella, and then, or Stella or Vega. I don't even know if Stella's in the ballpark anymore. I don't know if Stella's even relevant. You just don't see her too often anymore. She really is dependent on gems, and a lot of gillies came out and slowed her down. Anyway, we'll call it Vega, and then Vega or Reinhardt is supposed to beat Rogers. That's the food pyramid. Infantry underrepresented, like always. And they just brought out Elixir, and Elixir should have had a triple strike, not a double strike, and people would be playing infantry, but they're not. That's the devs' fault, but great replay. Awesome. Good to see Elf, and good to see